Alright, I'm back with another Destiny 2 video. Infinite amounts of things to talk about. I might do a video follow-up to my crafting piece that I wrote earlier today on Forbes. There's probably a lot more to say about that could be better conveyed in a video maybe, but go read that if you haven't yet. Today I wanted to dip back into the lore for something that is kind of insane that I feel like a lot of people may not be seeing unless they kind of went through all the lore books already. So we are back with Osiris Watch, baby. We went through this for several months last season once we figured out that something was kind of off about Osiris. Turns out that was very accurate, obviously, and he ended up being Savathun in disguise. The end of that season made it so Savathun escaped, but then she gave us Osiris back, technically keeping her word. And as far as we knew at the end of Season of the Lost, Osiris was alive. He's just like kind of in recovery. He's like in a coma. Saint's taking care of him, but he is like not, you can't go visit him anywhere. He's not like saying anything or doing anything. However, big ol' asterisk that we need to talk about with Osiris's return, judging by the lore of something you'll get pretty early on just from doing the campaign. This lore book is Martin Missives. There's two aspects to this. So there's 8 of these entries. I might go through all of them just after the Osiris stuff, but there's 2 entries really in regard to what's going on with Osiris. And the first is a message from Osiris himself, directly addressed to us, the Guardian. So it says, "May this message find you, Guardian. If it does, then you've once again learned just enough to be dangerous, and you are no doubt seeking guidance. I must preface all I am about to say by asking for your empathy. I have dedicated lifetimes to studying the infinite permutations of reality. I have lived longer than any other Guardian by orders of magnitude, much of it outside what you experience as time. But with the loss of Sagira, the time I have left in a human lifespan is infinitesimal, less than a mote in the vast sands of time. All I have of value, my insights, my discoveries, my reputation, they are all rooted in my past, and I do not have the time left to accomplish more, not on the scale we need to survive. There are few beings in the cosmos who have seen time from the same depths as I have, and fewer still with the intellect to appreciate that perspective, which is why I have made my deal with the devil. I have willingly submitted to Savathun and allowed her to take my place among the Vanguard. Whew. The Vanguard have fought like trapped animals for too long. They hoard secrets. Every fact they learn gets crammed into the barrel of a gun and fired at the heart of our newest target." That's such a good line. Oh, Bungie writers, good job. "We are losing this war despite individual Pyrrhic victories, and what pitiful harm Savathun can inflict with our limited resources pales against the value of this opportunity. The Witch Queen sits on a throne of secrets accreted over 1 billion years. While she huddles in the crumbling ruin of our city, I am left alone in her storied halls to learn all she has seen. Zavala and Ikora are dear friends and noble souls, but they are adventurers. They see immediate problems and crave immediate solutions, and their compassion blinds them to what can be won through sacrifice, particularly from a man who is, on the scale of Guardian lives, already dead. They would stop me, which is why I entrust only you with this knowledge. Keep my secrets and keep humanity safe with this unexpected ally. Do not let my sacrifice be in vain." So, that's a big deal. So Osiris is saying he willingly gave himself up to Savathun because now that he lost his light, his like lifespan is pretty much meaningless in the grand scope of time and like all the lifetimes he's already lived, and he believes that Savathun can do more to help than he can, so he lets her take his place and learn the Vanguard's secrets, because if he just wanted to give Savathun all the Vanguard secrets and things, then no one would appreciate that. So this was like the play to let Savathun infiltrate, and he calls her an unexpected ally who we have now murdered, except obviously I think the door is left open for her to return. Sorry, I guess I should have said a spoiler warning before all this, but we're talking about lore entries and things, so I thought that kind of came with the territory. But so the idea here is that Osiris trusts that Savathun is going to be a long-term ally against kind of the coming calamity, rather than like any dumb stuff Savathun does in the meantime. Like, yeah, maybe Savathun is the ultimate force that killed Cade, but like from Osiris's perspective, like it's like it's one life, or a handful of small nuisances compared to like the complete annihilation of like space and time and humanity that is coming with a new collapse. So that is why he did this. Problem is, this is not the end of this. So there is another entry. This I'll go back to these, but all right, the Keitel entry. This is the other half of the puzzle here. So this is from Keitel, and she's writing to us directly again. Degenerate fate casts us together once more, Guardian. How I have missed the thrill of pitting my cabal against your unyielding tide of lightbearers, truce or no. But it is in the spirit of Zavala's newfound truce that I offer you news delivered by my cabal scouts. My forces recently recovered the remains of a human male on Nessus, vivisected almost beyond recognition using hive techniques and tools. Our science identifies the unfortunate as your warden of the infinite forest, Osiris. While I will not divulge the details of our confirmation methodologies, rest assured they are thorough and accurate. This news no doubt will shock you, given that you are also in possession of another Osiris still clinging to life. But it is not him, despite the confirmation of his identity performed by Ikora Rey. Her admiration for her old mentor has already clouded her ability to recognize an imposter once, and it appears to have happened yet again. It is not custom among the Cabal to allow even a respected leader a third chance to fail their people. There's a lot of typos in this. There's like extra spaces and things. I don't know what purpose the Witch Queen could have in giving you a comatose husk wearing your dead ally's face, or what threat he may become, a listening device, a future mole, a living bomb. But understand this, when Savathun brought Ziva Urath to my doorstep, she did so wearing the mask of a trusted advisor. What you hold in your tower is no treasure, and I would have faith in you among your kind to handle this problem as a Cabal would. Empress Keitel. Okay, so we're doing this again. So despite the fact that Ikora says that it was the Techeuns verified that Osiris is Osiris, Keitel is saying they use their own verification to prove. So vivisected is like, I'm pretty sure what that means is like when you have like you know when you're like dissecting a frog in class, and you like peel its insides out and like take out all its organs and things. Like I'm pretty sure that's what vivisected means. Like they were studying Osiris and like trying to find his power and stuff, I assume. So that's very gross. But so the idea is that there is one dead Osiris and one alive Osiris, and Keitel very much thinks that Savathun has tricked us and given us a fake Osiris yet again. But the question is like, why? Like, it's not like we didn't go and try and kill Savathun anyway after she gave us Osiris back. Here's what I think is going on here. Because of what Osiris is doing with the Infinite Forest and like traveling through time and like all of this crazy stuff Osiris does, my guess is that there are multiple real versions of Osiris, possibly from like the past, the present, or the future, or possibly from alternate timelines. Like maybe he was pulled out of the dark future or something like that, and the Osiris that wakes up is a different Osiris than the one who sacrificed himself to Savathun. But the point is like the current Osiris is going to need to answer a whole lot of questions when he wakes up. I thought we were done with this. I thought we had kind of the Saint and Osiris happy ending, and then Osiris would wake up and just sort of find a new role. But now we still have many, many lingering questions about Osiris still to come, which is... Oh, man, we're doing this whole thing again. So until he starts talking and, like, saying shady things or not shady things, we don't really know what's going on. But my guess is, like, this is not necessarily, like, a Savathun trick the same way it was before. Like, I don't think it's someone in disguise or something. But my theory here would be that Osiris is... There are multiple copies of him from different timelines. And I do wonder if that's true, if you can have Osiris copies from alternate timelines, if that means maybe there's a copy of him that could still have his lights or still have Sekira or something like that. So I'm curious if that actually manifests. But the point is the Osiris saga is not over, and we have to keep an eye on him. I believe these are the only two entries I have to do with Osiris. This Eris one is talking about if I ever turn evil, you should probably kill me. This Ikora one is talking about how we probably shouldn't trust Finch, but he's being useful for now. This is Ikora kind of talking about Zavala, and then if Zavala is a threat, we need to figure out a way to fix that, do whatever it takes to ensure your safety. She thinks she's a jinx on powerful guardians. Don't follow poor Cade 8's fate. That's a fun typo. Or a hint? No, it's just a typo. This one is about Toland and how Toland is like all about Savathun. Savathun will be the universe's salvation hero. She can be yours too, if you cast down the bitter draught of old allegiance on which you have grown drunk. Oh, Tolland. Shut up. I do think he's right, though. And then Zavala talks about how he was mad at Ikora, and then is not going to like suspend her, but he thinks Ikora is going to retire from the Vanguard at some point in the near future. And he says the Vanguard needs 3 leaders to reflect the needs and perspectives of Earth. I think that's, again, a hint that Crow will become the Hunter Vanguard at some point. He does not talk about himself leaving the post. And then just a final message from Eris, and telling us that Savathun took a specific interest in us, and we don't really know what kind of her ultimate intentions were even after all this point. So just, I don't know. It's all implications are like we're not done with Savathun, which seems fairly obvious. And there are some other old lore books that are just getting started here. I won't really go into these until we get further into them. There's this is one about Keitel going into the Mindscape and confronting Callus in her mind. So that's interesting. But there will be more of those. There's some great Keitel Zavala lore in the grenade launcher that I'll probably do separately. But anyway, this is the beginning of Osiris Watch 2. We will have to see how that develops. That may not happen this season. Maybe that's going to be something we deal with in the rest of the year here. But we'll see what happens. And yeah, we're not done with fake Osirises yet, apparently, or shadiness in some general sense that we can't really figure out yet. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.